REST APIs are designed around resources. If a client needs two resources to be loaded from the server, such as posts and comments, both resources can't be retrieved in a single request. This situation is referred to as the problem of underfetching. The information sent back from the server regarding a resource may contain more data than needed, leading to the problem of overfetching. For example, to display a username on the screen, the complete user resource needs to be retrieved from the server. GraphQL specifically addresses both underfetching and overfetching issues with its graph-based query language. GraphQL enables clients, such as mobile or web applications, to request only the necessary information from the GraphQL server. Typically, the GraphQL server acts as an intermediary between back-end APIs and clients. GraphQL primarily involves two operations: querying the graph from the server and mutating nodejs of the graph on the server. Let's explore the querying part first. Originally, Facebook developed GraphQL to retrieve friends and their activities as a graph from the server. Consider the following example. User Alice is friends with user Bob. User Bob creates a post titled My First Post. This post includes a comment, "Great post, Alice," written by Charlie. Loading every detail of each node inside the feed is not efficient, especially on a 2G data connection. To retrieve all nodes at once, including only the specific details required, the following query can be written. In this query, we are querying user Alice with all her friends and posts. For each post, all comments and their authors will be retrieved. Notice that in the case of friends and authors, only the name will be retrieved. This query is written on the client side. In GraphQL, every query, input, and response has a type. To make this query work, on the server side, we need type definitions. 4 types are needed here: user type, which contains all the fields that the server supports; post and comment types, and inside the query type, we will take a username of type string as input and return a response of type user. If we want to create a new node or update an existing one, we can use the mutation operation. Consider this example. The createPost mutation will take an input of type postInput. This operation is responsible for creating a new post on the server. Let's write a GraphQL-based Express server and a React client. First, we will install the Express, Apollo server, and Axios packages. Inside the index.js file, we will import these 3. Next, we need type definitions for both queries and mutations. The post type will define the schema for a post. To create a new post, we need the post input type. We will write 2 queries, the first to get a post by ID and the second to get all posts. Notice that all inputs and outputs of each query have a specified type. Finally, we need to define the type for the mutation. We will have a createPost mutation that takes post input as input and returns a new post as output. Now we need to resolve these queries and mutations using resolvers. For the getPost query, we will resolve the data by calling the JSON placeholder posts API with the provided ID. We will implement a similar resolver for the getAllPosts query, except it will not have any input ID. For the createPost mutation, we will post data to the JSON placeholder API using Axios. Let's create the Apollo server by providing type definitions and resolvers. We will create an instance of the Express app and apply it as middleware to the Apollo server. Finally, we will start our server. If you observe this implementation, we can write both REST-based API and GraphQL queries using a single setup. There is no need for an additional service. Let's run this back-end app. Now, we will define the query block that takes a post ID as input. Next, we will write a query to retrieve a post by ID. Here, we have to provide a post ID to fetch the corresponding post. If we hit the Get Posts button now, we can see the data retrieved from the server. If we only need the title, we can remove other attributes and execute the query. We have the flexibility to invoke multiple queries as a single query. If we execute it now, we can see the data from both queries. Let's write a React client to consume these GraphQL queries and perform mutations. We will install Apollo client for this demo. Next, We will import Apollo client and create a client by providing the GraphQL server endpoint. Then, we need to wrap our posts component using the Apollo client provider. In this setup, we have three presentational components that take input from the user and display data from GraphQL. First, we will write the exact query that we used in the Apollo GraphQL client. Next, we will write the create post mutation. Notice that this mutation takes input of type post input, and these three fields will be retrieved from the post that is newly created. Next, inside the posts component, we will read the post ID that the user entered and provide it to the useQuery hook that Apollo client provides. Notice that it takes the getPosts query that we defined earlier. The useQuery hook returns data retrieved from the server. The useMutation hook returns a function that we can call to create a new post. Notice that we have provided the createPost function from useMutation to the createPost component. This component will read post details from the user and call this function. To render post details, we have provided the data from the user query to these two components. Let's run this React app. We can see that posts are retrieved from the server on the right side. If we provide a specific post ID, then that post will be retrieved. Let's create a new post by providing a title and body. This new post will be created on the server. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.